Welcome everyone, Adam's the Woo here, coming to you from Anniston, Alabama. And I want you to peek down this little corridor, this little hallway, right there. What is around that hallway? Well, look at this. It's a remnant of the 80s. Coca-Cola, the original Coca-Cola Classic logo. But that, who remembers that? That's the Coke logo, New Coke. One of the worst decisions by a corporation and one of the most failed marketing campaigns by a hugely successful corporation ever in the history of existence. New Coke only lasted a very short time in the 80s, but we can still be reminded of it here in Anniston, Alabama. Down this little corridor hallway, there is an actual New Coke. I should actually see if there's actually New Coke in there. Let's take a look. Nope, just classic. Just Coca-Cola Classic inside, but the outside on the non-nether regions of the Coca-Cola facility, what is that thing called? Machine is the New Coke Cloak and Dagger, starring Dabney Coleman in the 80s also. It's going to be a whole 80s reference vlog. It's my second channel, daily blog channel, and yes, yesterday I did miss the intro, so let me do it again for you to make up for yesterday. It's my second channel, daily blog channel. It's TheDailyWoo, coming to you with a little bit of 80s nostalgia in the form of Cloak and Dagger, New Coke, and something that sits right next to my van. My van is no small fry in any way, shape, or form, but there's something in today's vlog that's going to be far more superior and large than my van. I'm talking about, brace yourself, sir, ma'am, and children, for the world's largest office chair. Look at that. Massive. And why do I bring up the 80s reference? Well, in 1981, Miller's Office Supply decided to do a little clever marketing campaign, and in the parking lot of their facility, next to their office chair supply corporation office furniture, if you will, they decided to build this magnificently large chair. And a year later, the Guinness Book of World Records came a knocking at their door, and they actually granted them the ability to actually festoon a sign that says, "World's Largest Chair. Guinness Book of World Records, 1982, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point." There is only one exclamation point up there, but this is worthy of 3 exclamation points, in my opinion, because now, as we know, all over the nation and all over the world, there are many large monoliths in the shape of chairs that have been created, but I think it all started right here in Anniston, Alabama. That's where the trend began. You know, in the internet nowadays, you always hear about things trending. What's the origin of trending? Well, this started the chair trending wonderfulness right here, Anniston, Alabama. And there actually have been other chairs, larger chairs that have been built, but this is still the world's largest office chair. So if you're in an office right now, look at your chair and decide, is my chair anywhere near the size or the non-comfort level of what you're staring at? The answer is probably no. However, inside, Miller's is still here. See, there's a little marquee. You can actually buy a replica of that chair right inside those doors. This building actually sat empty and abandoned for a long time. Miller's opened in 1981. They built the chair. A year later, Guinness came out, had a whole little ceremony, dedicated the chair. Then Miller's moved across town. This building sat empty and abandoned, and then Miller's, maybe what if there's more than one Miller? If it's just one man named Miller, what if his first name or his last name is Miller? Either way, the Miller Corporation, business, if you will, family owned, non-family owned. I don't know anything about them. I'm focusing on the chair. They came back, resurfaced the chair, had a lot of rust, still has a lot of rust on it, but they fixed it up, and now they're back on this side of town, right next to what made them famous, the world's largest office chair. And this thing is no joke. I am 6'3". A lot of people when they meet me say, man, I had no idea you were going to be that tall. Yes, if there was a marker against the side of this, it would show that I am 6'3". There is no marker, however. So if this is 6'3", how tall would you say that is? What would the height of this be? I also heard a story that a massive storm blew through here in 2012, and the top of this roof was blown off, but the chair still sat here unscathed, untouched, untarnished. It's just sitting here. It's made of insane amounts of metal and concrete down at the bottom. I'm trying to give you all angles of this chair so you can get a perspective of it. Look at that. That is one massive chair. The last couple vlogs have actually been kind of intense. A little darker, if you will, than the normal Daily Woos. So I figured I'd lighten up the mood today with a little bit of fun facts of Anniston and this wonderful creation. You can see the armrests up there. You do not want to get sore arms when you're sitting there working on your carpal tunnel syndrome at your desk. You do want to make sure that your elbows and the bottom nether regions of your arms are comfortable by this padding that is there. Now for the exciting part. Yes, I'm going to do something. I read this online. I got really excited, so I'm hoping this actually works out. And I'm hoping, here, look over here for a second. I've got to go inside my van. I should have taken my keys off of my chain. It was connected to my pants, my wallet. But I'm going to try something very interesting, and I'm going to try to drive underneath the chair. You can see they've actually had people drive underneath there. So I'm not doing something that they are opposed to being done. In fact, that black car right there, when it pulled in, right before I started doing the vlog, it pulled right through there and parked. That's probably either an employee or maybe the owner. So I am going to follow in her footsteps and go right over there. Are you ready? Oh, we're going to drive under the world's largest. Let me back this puppy up just a little bit. And here we go. Oh. Hopefully we got enough clearance. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Whoa, we are underneath the world's largest office chair. You want to see the perspective of this? You want to see the awesome magnitude and perspective? Look at the size of this. Let's cross the road. I should have probably been walking at the crosswalk, but you know I love jaywalking and testing jaywalking laws around the country. I don't know what they are in Anniston. But more importantly, look at my van that is now festooned right underneath that humongous, gargantuan office chair. Miller's Office Furniture. Next to Miller's Office Furniture building sits the world's largest chair, office chair, if you will, designated and documented by the Guinness Book of World Records itself in 1982. All these people that are driving by are wishing to themselves, man, I wish we got that cool parking spot like Adam did. But they didn't. I got the parking spot. The problem is, I'm only going to be there for a couple of minutes, so I have to soak in the enjoyment. Let's soak it in. Soak in the enjoyment with me. All right, 3 deep breaths of enjoyment and soakingness. One last one. That's the feeling people got and the breath that they gave of non-fresh air when they drank New Coke back in the 80s and it failed. Hope you've enjoyed this vlog, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please subscribe. I do a different daily vlog every single day. That's why it's called The Daily Woo. It's unedited. There's a guy driving in. Look at him. Look at the jealousy in that car's eyes. They were hoping they would pull right. That's probably an employee whose favorite spot, he's probably the employee of the month, and he probably is allowed to park under the chair, but I've stolen it. I'm the employee of the month, sir. I'm the employee of the month.